Sometimes one of the hardest things to do is to come up with an original idea for a project. So when I ask my students to take ownership and come up with something original for an assignment, they can really struggle with that. So in my book, Storytelling with Purpose, Digital Projects to Ignite Student Curiosity, I took that experience working with my students and dedicated an entire chapter to helping students and teachers develop unique ideas for their own multimedia research projects. So there are several that I'm excited about. In chapter 6, there's idea safaris where you're wandering around, the Innovator's Compass, which is a great project. We'll talk about that later in another video. Salons and hackathons, empathy interviews. And one of my favorites is actually borrowed from my friend Leah Lacrosse, who's a middle school science teacher. And that's called the Wonder Journal. And Wonder Journals are essentially a log that can be paper, notebook, or a note app or a Google Doc or something like that, where students are invited and encouraged to write down observations and questions, to maybe take pictures or scribble notes or drawings about something that they're curious about in their lives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And what I really like about Wonder Journals is that it invites students to be curious all the time and to think about and wonder about the world, not just when they're in class, when they have an assignment, or when there's a grade on the line, but all the time. And isn't that kind of the whole point of school? We want students to be curious, lifelong learners beyond school. So it's a really great opportunity for you to do it. And you can find out more about how to use Wonder Journals and other ideas for coming up with story topics and research projects in my book, Storytelling with Purpose, Digital Projects to Ignite Student Curiosity, right there on the bookshelf.